Welcome back to Exquisitely Aligned. You may be on your path to having it all, the house, family, money, and travel, when suddenly something shatters your ideal world. It shifts your perspective. You are grateful for all that you've achieved and all that you have, yet you realize or maybe even decide having it all isn't all that. It may leave you feeling unhappy, unsatisfied, or unfulfilled. You're left wanting something even more fulfilling. But you can't quite put it into words. Others, they just don't get it. They try to pacify you. And that may leave you feeling a bit guilty. I get it. I've stood in your shoes. Hi, I'm Gina, your life artist. Today we're going to discuss the art of creating beauty with your resources. In earlier episodes, you heard me say beauty is not superficial. Beauty is superfuel. It inspires us to be the finest version of ourselves, empowering us, encouraging us. It's simply amazing. With that being said, you can see the importance of beauty and how it enriches our lives. Today, I want to discuss 3 powerful resources: your time, your money, and your energy. We spend our time, money, and energy on what we value. And this series is to shine a light on giving even more value to creating beauty in every facet of your life. From making your living spaces even more beautiful, to how you express yourself with your image. In upcoming episodes, we'll delve into your conversations. Last week was your mind, right? Daydreaming, and there'll be more things to enhance the beautiful way your mind functions in the future. But today, let's focus on your resources. Let's discuss time, money, and energy individually, and then put them all together because it often involves more than one, sometimes all 3. But first, intention. What does it mean? How do you define intention? And are you being intentional? And whatever else may pop up as we speak about this. Intention. The dictionary says intention is an aim or a plan. I happen to prefer Wiki's explanation. Intention is the mental state representing commitment to perform an action. Life becomes a bit easier when we live with intention instead of haphazardly showing up. I think you would agree. And this is especially true with our resources. Life is definitely easier when we are intentional about our time, money, and energy. We want room to let things flow. So I'm not talking about being overly rigid. No, not at all. Not in anything for that matter. I'm talking about knowing your truths and honoring them, recognizing your desires and partnering with them. And of course, appreciating and sharing your gifts. With your truths, desires, and gifts in the forefront of your mind, making sure you are intentionally using your resources to support you. So, if you desire, let's say, world travel, I love to travel, you figure out a way to make it happen. And if you need more money, maybe you give up your Starbucks. You see, you start putting emphasis on what you value. Or let's say you want to do world travel and you own a very highly successful, busy business with no time for you to escape. You have plenty of money, but no time, a different resource. Become intentional in creating time. Maybe you delegate some of your tasks. And sure, when you do that, it's going to take a little bit of training, but it's possible. Or maybe you are so overworked that the truth is you need to hire or outsource some of those tasks. Do you see what I'm getting at? The saying goes, where there's a will, there's a way. But you know me, I like to tweak things. So let's tweak it a bit. Where there's a desire, add your intention, and you'll easily find your way and the resources to support your heartfelt desires. Beauty. We've been talking about it for a few weeks now. So let me make it rather short, sweet, and simple. Beauty is super fuel. Because you're still with me, I'm going to believe that you believe the value in beauty and creating beautiful things and surrounding yourself in it. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here right now. When we become intentional in bringing in even more beauty, it's only natural to then have this discussion about our resources, right? Because that's how we do it. How are we spending our time, our money, and our energy? If you look in marketing, especially here in the United States, you'll find we live in a world that promotes quick fixes and self-indulgences rather than playing the long game and fulfilling our real truths and desires. Those are usually not quick fixes. Awareness, it's typically the first step of any change. So becoming aware that most marketing promotes this quick fix is the first step. And then we have to get clear on what we truly value. From there, we want to make sure our values match how we are allocating or spending our resources, right? Time, money, and energy. Let's start with time. Yes, I know there's only 24 hours in a day, but there's another way to think about it. There are 24 hours in a day. That's a lot of time. Let's think about it from the abundance of 24 hours a day and begin to think, what are you really doing with your time? Sure, we must sleep. It's mandatory for our health. And getting the right amount is definitely key to a healthy mind, body, and including your weight. If you're not sleeping well, might be gaining weight. I know it's happened to me, and your spirit. So sleep is where we should start, right? We want to be sure we're allowing ourselves the right amount of time to sleep, not oversleeping. And then we have eating, another thing that's mandatory, and preparing our food. But that'll be an episode of its own, creating beauty through food and stuff. So we have sleeping and eating and possibly work, right? Maybe you work outside of the house or inside of the house. Possibly you work in the house raising your kiddos or caretaking for a family member, and that takes time. Many people say there's a work-life balance, and I don't agree with that because I believe when we live and are exquisitely aligned, there is more. We have things like our health, movement, exercise, social life, spiritual life, possibly a love relationship or starting one, maybe being a parent or a grandparent. You see, there is more to balance than just this work and life. There's lots of facets of life. And we typically spend our time on what we value. But there are times when we get off kilter. I know I have, definitely, especially when Mark was sick. And I'm guessing that may have happened to you. And that's where coming back to your truths and your desires to ground you and even your gifts is highly recommended. And then ask yourself, what is my intention? And if you desire to have even more joy in your love relationship, whether it be a marriage or you're dating, and maybe your desire or your intention is to have more date-like experiences, but you don't allocate, or let's say schedule is the better word. You don't schedule it into your calendar. It's not going to happen. You know it. It can't happen. This isn't anything new. I know you know this. I'm just here to every once in a while remind you of some of the things that can help you bring even more beauty back into your life. Because there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing you need to change. I know sometimes we think we do, but no, there's not. It's much simpler. It's simply reacquainting ourselves with our wishes, being intentional, and spending our resources in a way that truly supports what you value. So thinking about your time, your 24 abundant hours in a day, thinking about it again. Are you spending your time each day to support what you desire and what you value? And be honest with yourself. Give yourself a score, a percentage, or whatever. Do you desire to be overscheduled? If you are answering, yeah, I want to be overscheduled, I've found that most people who are overscheduled are hiding from something, typically an emotional. It's kind of like emotional eating where we're stuffing down. We overpack our schedule because we are afraid of an emotion that may pop up. If we're too busy, or at least that's the mentality, we think we're going to be better off. It's not true. Neither one works. Now, many years ago, decades, I should say, when I was single, I was always fashionably late, which is not very nice, right? So much so that I tried setting my clocks and watch 5 minutes fast, and you guessed it, it didn't work. One time I was meeting my friend, the beautiful Vicki Jones, who is still in Charlotte, North Carolina. And of course, I was late. But that day changed my life. You see, when I ran in out of breath and kind of glistening with sweat from running from the parking deck to the restaurant, I apologized for being late, like I normally would. And much to my surprise, she shared she prides herself on always being either early or on time. She went on and told me a little bit more, and I was sold. I wanted to pride myself as she did. Years later, as I studied and began teaching the yamas and niyamas of yoga, it hit me even deeper. The yamas and niyamas are the ethical teachings of yoga and very much remind me, and probably you if you've read them, studied them, of the 10 Commandments. The yamas are the restraints, and one of them is called Asteya, spelled A-S-T-E-Y-A. Asteya is non-stealing, right? Thou shalt not kill. Sound familiar? When we are late, we are doing a few things that we, kind of like I, didn't realize I was doing. When we are late, we are stealing from the other person their time. She was sitting in the restaurant waiting on me. Not nice. Whether it be one person like it was for me that day or a room full of people, still not nice. And if you're like me, someone who prided myself on not stealing, I had to realize that that's what I was doing. And so I wanted to change my ways. Besides stealing time, when we are consistently late, we are sending a message that I'm more important than you. And whatever the heck I'm doing, which is usually dilly-dallying, is more important. And that's not true. So let's segue into your schedule, because this is a good way. We already spoke about being intentional on what we do with our time. And so we don't want to steal. I would highly recommend scheduling enough time between things on your calendar to give yourself wiggle room. And most importantly, in order to create beauty in our life, be sure to leave space in your day for beautiful things to unfold. Like last week. Last week, I happened to walk outside to get the mail, bumped into a neighbor who I hadn't seen in a while. He and his wife, we started chatting, and it was wonderful because they invited us, they extended an invitation to go out to dinner with them. Mark and I had nothing to do. We came inside, washed up, and went. So leave space to welcome in those magical moments, those unexpected invites. Maybe it's those unexpected messages you receive from the universe, like a dragonfly, as you take a breather in the yard, or time to pause and refresh or reflect. Let whatever wants to come to you freely flow to you. How are you allowing beauty to happen naturally in your day? Let me know. Send me a message. I love hearing from you. Time is a precious resource, a gift we are given each and every day as we awake. We think we're running out of time when truly we aren't. It's like charging your phone. When you wake up, you are blessed with an entire new day, 24 hours long. So let's spend our time on what really matters to us, what we value, and what will help us live beautifully, superfueled. Let me mention quickly, because it's popping up in my head, daydreaming. Last week's episode, we spoke about the 5 healthy benefits of daydreaming. So I just want to put it in here or put it down again. Make time to daydream. A few minutes. Okay, money. Let's talk about money. Money is an energy, something we exchange for goods, service, or beauty, right? We spend money on what we value, just like time. Think again what you value. What do you truly value? Your desires and your truths. Are you being intentional with your money? Earlier, I mentioned marketing promotes quick fixes and indulgences, but if something is truly your desire, then it's not an indulgence, is it? Let's take time and talk about that a little further. I'll share with you a conversation I had. So recently I was on the phone with beautiful Mary Lou. She's brilliant and always ready to help me, which is a blessing. Recently, we were talking and she told me she wanted a pizza oven. She wanted a really nice, high-end, luxury, amazing pizza oven. I started laughing because last November, my husband told me he wanted a pizza oven. As he told me, I had this image pop right into my mind of an easy bake oven. They used to sell them when I was a kid. I don't even know if they're still around. I never had one, but my girlfriend Suzanne did. Of course, I didn't own it, but we played often enough that I got to play with hers. And this plastic little oven, smaller than a microwave, would make or bake edible cakes. And I think the heat source may have been a light bulb. It's a miracle we didn't get sick. So when my husband was beaming as he spoke of this pizza oven, all I could envision was him as an only child, and of course as a boy, not having baked cakes in the easy bake oven and now wanting his own new toy, this pizza oven, one of his own. But I had to bite my tongue, you see, because I could see it in his face and especially in his eyes. He truly desired this oven. Of course, he read articles and done all the research because that's what Mark does. He loves to research, read reviews, blah, blah, blah. Back to my conversation with Mary Lou. Even though I was on the phone, I could feel her true heartfelt desire for a pizza oven. So Mary Lou, I'm hoping you get your oven real soon. And yes, if you're wondering, Mark got his for Christmas. I couldn't not get it for him. Some things may seem indulgent, but really ask yourself, is this what I truly desire? Will it support my wishes in the life I want to live, in the beauty I want to create? In The Art of Creating Beauty, Living Space is the first of the series. We talked about valuing beauty and spending our time, money, and energy in creating spaces within your home, your office, your yard that support you. I know there are some paintings in my home, especially here in my office, that for some people, it may seem indulgent, but for me, they create an atmosphere that allows me to thrive, for me to feel and be exquisite. They align with the vibe I need to keep creating these podcasts or to do the work I do when I'm here and you're not here with me. If it doesn't align with what you're creating, then skip it. You know you don't have to have what the neighbors have. I don't have to tell you that. Think about what you want more of and what you want less of. Does the way you spend your money match your values? Does what you spend your money on bring you an energetically positive exchange, or is it simply a temporary quick fix? Maybe put some money aside for experiences, adventures, something that leaves you with magical moments. What's on your bucket list? Think about that. If you're needing some more money and you haven't yet listened to the Art of Creating Beauty Living Spaces, I would suggest you do. You may find you have money hanging in your closet, taking up space in your jewelry box, and it might be more money than you ever expected. It just may be time to turn your clutter into cash. If you were taught or believe that money is the root of all evil, connect with me and I will send you an idea on how to easily and quickly shift that mindset once and for all. Okay, energy, our last topic. I highly value my health, which includes my energy. I typically attract like-hearted and like-minded people, so I'm guessing you value your health and your energy as well. Where are you spending your energy? Does it match your desires? Are you receiving a positive energetic exchange, or are you running yourself ragged, burning the candle at both ends? If your energy is low, ask yourself why. I'm guessing you know. I find you typically do. What can you change about that? Might you need to give up some of your commitments, the ones that no longer align with your truest self? Maybe it's time to add the word no to your vocabulary. And when you say no, understand you don't need to give an excuse. I know as women, we always think we need to give an excuse. It's not true. Simply say, no, thank you. I don't want to take that, whatever the position is. I have always felt that we each have a flame, a glow in the center of our heart, a symbol of how joyfully we are living. Are you protecting your flame? Do you believe in this light? Some people, they might call it spirit or soul or inspiration or the divine. Our busy lives, along with sometimes negativity that can come up in the shape of a person or just an energetic, sometimes it's a poor diet, it can dim our flame. Please don't allow that to happen. As you shine brilliantly and glow, you are likely to inspire others and cause a chain reaction. My passion and my purpose is to light your soul aglow so you live exquisitely aligned as the truest version of yourself and live unapologetically, no matter how imperfect your life is. Because as an exquisitely aligned soul, you become exactly what you see missing in the world. That's powerful. With that, I'm inviting you to use this formula. Where there's a desire, add your intention, and you'll easily find your way and the resources to support your heartfelt desires. Life becomes, I would say, even more dreamy. Living exquisitely aligned is a great way to experience a life of deeper meaning, a life with purpose and intention. When you have intention in your back pocket, so to speak, you will know what to say, how to act, and what to think in every instance of your day, especially with your resources. You become more aware, grounded, and secure about what you are doing and why you are doing it. Everything you do has meaning or purpose or both. And flow begins to take over your mind, your speech, your way of thinking, being, and receiving. And your spending habits, including your time, money, and energy, your day, and your world, are in sync with your intention. It's truly a gift to operate from the highest expression of yourself. You shine or glow, let's say, from the inside out, illuminating the path for others. I think it's always a great idea to slow down. Our modern lifestyle keeps us hopping, and then we become like the hamster on the wheel or gerbil, whatever it is, you know what I mean? Running without a destination. Being able to slow down, ground, and connect with our truths and desires allows us to lead a life rich with experiences, meanings, and connections. Think about what your intention is in your life. Make that a part of your daily life, bringing it into focus, maybe as you get dressed in the morning, as you sip your coffee or tea, and notice how that changes what you do in a day. Typically, the things without meaning will fall to the wayside, allowing more time, money, and energy to be devoted to the things that really matter to you. Those things that are fulfilling, the things that evoke bliss. Time with loved ones becomes invaluable. The calendar has only things that you're passionate about. You may even have a few trips planned. When you live with intention, your health and wellness rank high in importance. Maybe you're eating better and truly enjoying exercising. You find something you like. How you experience your life is what genuinely matters. It's why we were born. It's that gift of waking up each morning to the sun shining, the birds chirping, and the smile of your loved ones and the 24 hours of the new day. It's about what you send out into the world and how it comes back to you 100-fold. The true meaning of a life full of beauty. We're here to thrive, not to feel chained to a desk or anything else for that matter. Rather, we are to flow like a droplet of water in a river, the current moving us over the rocks, flexible enough to bend into the curves and follow our destiny to the mouth of the lake, where we become one with source or spirit. Wow, I went off on a tangent. I wasn't expecting to do that, but you get the point, right? Until next time, be intentional with your resources and live exquisitely aligned.